Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 26th, and we have a special guest. Our guest today is Nikki. Nikki is here.
Hey, good morning.
I bet some folks were probably expecting, like, my parents. But my parents just left yesterday, and Nikki arrived yesterday because there was a hockey game.
Go Canes.
We won last night.
The Canes played. It was pretty cool. Nikki was at her kid's school, and one of the other moms saw her in Hurricanes gear outfit and was like, "Oh man, we have season tickets and we can't use them, for this upcoming game. Do you want to go?" And Nikki was like, "Yes."
Yep.
And Austin was like, "I have to work."
So I texted Mal, and Mal was like, yeah, I'll go. I'll get somebody else to do my work for me."
Thank you. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, we had a fun stream last night. We could probably talk about that at some point today, but yeah, it was a fun. I think I ruined some people's childhood.
Circle No Squared said, "Mal, there were horrors."
So somebody asked, how are the kids and how old are they? They're great. Lily is 7, going on 17. And JJ is very much 5.
Yeah. Also, JJ at the age of 5 just finished Mario Odyssey, which, like, I feel is fairly impressive because that game is not like a super easy title, especially for like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, gamer.
Yeah, right? He's very much a gamer.
So I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I think it really helped him to be able to go on YouTube and watch Let's Plays.
I mean,
I feel like if you play through a game and you have no idea what's going on, you have no idea how to go about working through things, it can be completely different. But when you watch somebody else do it,
yeah,
you can kind of mimic those movements and then find your own way. And it just makes it a lot easier for him to kind of understand the storyline and what to do. So,
yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, yeah, well.
What you do. It's important.
Mario Odyssey is actually the next 3D Mario game that we haven't played. On
It
the
is
channel.
my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your favorite?
It is my favorite out of all of them. Steven even hasn't.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah. I think I've only ever played like 2 hours or something of Odyssey. I watched Mallory play almost the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I played most of it in Wisconsin. What are you talking about?
You played most of it on the couch in the Blue Wall house. I sat and watched you. Anyway, you did good. There was occasions where Mal would get stuck on something and be like, "You want to try?" And I would play it, and I was like, "This control is very fun."
It does control very fun.
You can throw the hat and do a dive.
I'm bad at that.
Yeah. So at some point we'll probably play Odyssey, and I would really like to. They're gonna make like another Odyssey at some point.
Yeah.
Probably in the next 2 years. Let's read some of these early alerts here. We had 46 months from J-Rub, 75 from Mech Mayhem, 53 from Elfie, 73 from Ryan, 38 from Sammy Weiss, 55 from Molad, and here is a snack from Elvin Scout.
Been rejoicing too long? You need Tiny Eddie's Fuzzy Homecoming Potion Rolls.
We're still making fuzzy snacks. I don't really love the fuzzy snacks. Good morning and good vibes from New York. It's another day, so you know what that means. Snack divination time. Cast ye forth the bones of fate and tell my future. So, occasionally...
We were trying to explain this right before it got to crunch
there was
time.
not enough time to explain Tiny Eddie. Tiny Eddie is is one of our alerts where it invents a snack cake, like from a wide word list, and then just kind of portmanteaus all these words together until we get something like fuzzy homecoming potion rolls.
Which is not one of the really bad ones.
No, this one's actually pretty tame.
Renee says, "There's no explaining Tiny Eddie. You just experience it."
Yeah, this one's pretty good. Sometimes it's just like walrus nuggets or, koala something.
Isn't Tiny Eddie what it says under that magnet?
Yeah, there's...
Okay, downstairs. Cool. I was trying to figure out what that meant.
Yeah, it's a
cool.
parody of Little Debbie.
Ah!
So.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But still, fuzzy. I don't...
Yeah, that picture.
Yep, that picture. The emo picture.
Little Debbie, if she was always on drugs. Thank you. I appreciate it. We also had 61 months from NG Bin, 37 from Zach Lumberjack, 67 from Spark Strike, 4 from Kula 35. We had 72 months from Incarnado. Congrats on the 6. 57 months from Mr. Squidtopus. And a tier 3 from Spinach Wrap, Subby, at 67 months. Thank you, Spinach. Also, Luna Gaze gifted a sub to Jam Cop. We had 56 months from Charlemagne, 39 from Linders. 3 bits from Blue-Haired Cyborg says, I'm pleased to say that things are starting to look up for me in life. I had a first date last Thursday, and she wants to go out again, so here's some good vibes for all in chat who may need it.
Awesome.
Nice. Very, very cool. Well, I'm glad that that first date went well. I know that it went well because she wants to go out again. So I hope that the second date also goes well. Very, very cool. We also had 46 months from GA Studios, 65 from Somber Mink, 39 from Macintosh PC, 56 from The Shark Me, 16 months from Just Slight Dark, 70 from Gadzooks, and 300 from Slick Duke. Says, since we have a new person to experience Tiny Eddie, can you explain what a Richie is?
Have you ever heard of a Richie?
Have you ever heard of a it's a type of snack cake. And it's called a Richie. Does that ring any bells for you?
No. When I heard Richie, first thing that popped in my head was Richie Rich. So no, I have no idea.
Yeah, a Richie is basically a Twinkie. It's like that style of thing.
Yeah.
No one on Earth has ever called it a Richie except for, I guess, people in Indiana. Because Chaz is like, everyone knows what a Richie is.
He says, look, it's fine.
And like, nobody has ever known what a Richie is.
Well, everybody in Indiana knows what a Richie is.
I guess. Do we have any other Indiana viewers here
who can
confirm that that's a thing? Because I'm starting to wonder.
Like, no, we don't.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar to, like, you know how we call chicken bog, but people in the Georgetown area call it something else. They call it Perlo. Everybody in Georgetown goes, oh yeah, it's definitely Perlo, but nobody else calls it that. Only Georgetown. And they're so adamant about it that it's not called chicken bog. It's called Perlo.
Chicken bog is an infinitely better name.
It is. Well, it explains what it is. Perlo doesn't explain anything.
No, it doesn't.
It definitely explains it better, for sure. If folks don't know what chicken bog is, it is a...
bog of chicken.
It's a regional dish in the southeast, a little more narrow than just southeast, and it contains rice, sausage, and chicken. And
Thomas says, I'm from Georgetown, I call it Perlo.
Yeah, see? If you're from Georgetown, you should call it Perlo, because that...
But Thomas, if you called it Perlo, we wouldn't know what you were talking about.
That's why he's never called it Perlo to us.
Yeah, but he knows what it is. He knows what chicken bog is. But they say it's two different things, too. I was talking to some friends from Georgetown, and they said, no, it's made completely different. And I tried to listen to them explain the difference, and that's just different recipes for the same thing.
Great S Fairy says, so Zatharan's dirty rice. Not really. Because Zatharan's dirty rice is basically rice and beef. That's usually what it is, like ground beef with rice. And that's not what this is. This is very, very different.
Yeah, there's
chicken
a whole...
bog looks bland.
Yeah.
Like when you have it looks bland.
Yeah.
Like it's all like light brown.
Yeah. Like jambalaya, but less sausage and less spicy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be accurate.
Like whenever I said rice, sausage, and chicken, I literally meant that.
Those are the 3 ingredients.
like
Well, there's spices, but
yeah. But there's not anything else like going on in there. So
jambalaya just has more flavor. That's what it is.
Thomas says Perlo is its own thing.
Yeah, that's what people say. That's what I'm saying. What makes it different? I was trying to listen to the differences whenever I was talking to my friend, and it just didn't make any sense to me. The differences just seemed like different recipes for the same dish.
It can't be explained like a Richie. I legit can't explain it. It just But what is it?
Perlo, it's exactly the same. It's a dish with rice, chicken, and sausage. I mean, it's
Apparently Perlo is drier than chicken bog.
I don't want it to be drier. Moist, please.
I like it moist.
We have there's a chicken bog festival that takes place in South Carolina.
Dolores Bog Off.
Dolores Bog Off. We've actually went to it
For my birthday.
Yeah.
We went for my birthday.
I think we've been a time or two, and it's good because chicken bog tastes good. But you can look up you could look up a recipe for chicken bog and make it at home. I mean, it's not a terribly difficult dish to make.
No, it's a very comfort dish. It's stew-like.
Yeah. As a Brit, chicken bog sounds so unappealing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your foods, as an American, they sound unappealing too, so I get it.
Also a great phrase if you want to insult someone named Loris. Loris Bog Off.
Radio Dreads is American risotto. That's not inaccurate. Like the way risotto's kind of creamy rice. Now imagine like rotisserie chicken in that and like sausage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... we haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah.
Because, like, for a while there, my mom would make it every once in a while. We could make it at home. We just haven't done it.
Thanks, Thomas.
I can write eddies. I'm going to write 100 of them, and you'll have to suffer through them all. Thanks. I can't wait. I hope they're all variations of chicken bog.
Are you gonna retake the photo? So when they come up, it's Thomas is Tiny Eddie?
Tiny Tom. Let's see. We had 300 bits from Genesis who says, so both my dad and one of the execs at my company decided to bring in donuts this morning. We have 4 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts this morning. Help. Well, how many people to eat them?
Yeah, that is the question.
That's the big thing. So your dad and one of the execs and you. So we're at 3.
I mean...
For 4 dozen.
Yeah, so if you have one more person, each person can have a dozen donuts.
16 people. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's not too bad.
I mean...
That means
some
everyone's
people-
getting like 3 something donuts.
Yeah. But some people don't eat sweets, and then other people just inhale all donuts put in front of them.
Like, to be perfectly honest with you, if I'm at a function of some sort that does morning donuts, I'm definitely eating 3. That might seem like a high number for folks. I don't know, but like 3 is the number that I'm probably gonna have. I'm gonna eat 2 probably back to back. I'm gonna take a short break, and then I'm gonna eat a 3rd donut. That's what I haven't had Krispy Kreme in a while either.
You know what you could do this spring?
Oh my God, no. We have a race here in Raleigh
Okay.
where you run 2.5 miles, you eat a dozen donuts, and then you run 2.5 miles back.
Torture.
It's not high on my list of things to do.
No, thank you. I wouldn't make it back.
Like, I would love to have a socially acceptable way to eat a dozen donuts ravenously in 10 minutes. That sounds great. But the running part, Chaz did it.
Yeah. There's a marathon in upstate New York where my parents are from. It's called the Boilermaker. And a brewery is the sponsor. And so after running the entire marathon, you can drink, if you finish the marathon, at least back in the day, you could drink as much beer as you wanted, which sounds appealing until you run a marathon, and the last thing you want is a whole bunch of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another race. Is it in Raleigh? I don't know. I just know I've heard about it, where it's the same thing as like the Krispy Kreme, but in the middle you drink some amount of beer.
Carly's done that one.
Okay, so, well, that makes sense. It's in like it's in the Midwest.
Yes.
Yeah. Haley says, I mean, I always want beer. But do you want it after running?
I don't want beer. I'm running a marathon. That's fair, too.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, at least you know what you want.
Well, there you go. Sign up for the Boilermaker, and then you get as much beer as you want after the run.
She did say always. Haley says, we are leaving town, though, so bye. Bye.
Bye. I'll take good care of Leica.
Yeah, Alex and Haley and everyone
Yep.
is leaving town for Thanksgiving, with the exception of Mal and myself, so we are on pet duty. So Mal is watching Leica. I am watching Elspeth and Venser.
And Kepler.
Oh, look, somebody
And
guessed
Kepler.
the town that my parents are from. Look at that. I don't think it was a guess. I think they knew.
We also had 18 months from Miss Mace Windu, 20 from Dark Trium, 20 also from Strawberry Hearts. Thank you. Yeah, it's
They're from that area.
Yeah. See? Yeah, that makes sense.
it's interesting because like Thanksgiving is coming up, but in my brain
We already
Thanksgiving
did Thanksgiving.
is over.
Yeah.
Because we did Friendsgiving was last what day was that? Saturday? Saturday. So while my parents were in town, we did a big group meal, and that was fun. Especially because we've talked about doing it for 2 years now, and we finally got a chance to do it, and it was great. And Mal made a variation on turkey. Mm-hmm. It's turkey shawarma. It had a lot of good.
The Food Wishes turkey shawarma that just came out.
It was a lot of good flavor.
It was very good.
Yeah, I would definitely do that again. I can't believe your mom let you have 2 Thanksgivings. Yeah, this will be a very strange Thanksgiving for me, because I think this will be the first Thanksgiving in my life that I have not spent it with my family. I think. There might have been a Thanksgiving that I spent with someone else's family, but I'm pretty sure this is the first one ever, so that'll be different. I don't know what me and you are gonna do, Mal.
I don't know.
Go eat
Leica
it.
and I'll have turkey. You gonna have turkey with Leica and I?
I'll come over and eat turkey with you and the dog. That
Okay.
sounds great. We can do that. We had 300 bits from Gadzooks, who says, today's strange baseball name is... But first, this.
Terminator's randomized snack. Tiny Eddie's old pickle and cookie pudding.
Oh, that's awful.
Aren't
That's-
all pickles old though?
That's very bad.
Because you need time to
Yeah.
make a pickle.
No, they're old cucumbers. Old pickle insinuates that we've become a pickle and then we've spent additional time.
Finely aged pickle.
Although pickles are good for a long time. There's 1,000 bits from Gold Lining, who says, Tiny Eddie, you've got old pickle and cookie pudding. Pickle pudding sounds bad.
Yeah,
Sounds.
Soup is delicious.
it is delicious. I've made it recently and it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I don't know if pickle pudding is a real thing somewhere, but it shouldn't be. That's my strong opinion. 300 from Gadzooks, who says, today's strange baseball name is Jos Nixon Garcia. If you get this on the first try, I'll applaud. His nickname is The Password. I don't know why baseball players have such strange names. It seems... That's not even the weirdest one we've had. That one's
yeah.
almost tame compared
Yeah.
to some of the other ones that we've had.
I feel like hockey players have stranger names.
There was one last night, I swear. I don't remember what it was.
People doing sports. Bobson Dugnut. That's a good one. These are all really great names. Thomas says, isn't every name strange? Well, there's some names that are common. When a name becomes common enough, there is no strangeness. So the strangeness comes in if it's a rare name, if it's uncommon. Anyway. Pickled cheesecake is also a bad idea. 46 months from Cody the Positron. Appreciate it. What kind of name is Steven?
Pokemon Princess says throwback to Sebastian Aho penalty for hitting Sebastian Aho. That was my favorite part of the game we went to with Carly. It was like penalty Sebastian Aho on Sebastian Aho, and it was like ours was the okay one.
There's 2 players named Sebastian Aho?
On different teams.
All different teams.
Oh.
It must be a common name where he's
I think
from.
he's from Finland. I think.
Somebody Google it. You guys can Google faster than we can.
Islanders.
16.
Hey, speaking of 16.
Finish.
Finish.
Yeah, well,
16.
We had 1600 Wrist from Gold Lining says, were there enough pies for Friendsgiving? There weren't 16 pies.
I talked about making 4 pies, and I made 2, and that was plenty.
Which was good. When you originally had said you were going to make 4, Haley was very concerned.
Yeah.
Because my mom, when she came, also brought
Cookies.
plenty of
And Brandon
sweets.
made cake.
Brandon made cake. So we're actually kind of drowning
Yeah.
in sweets right now. That's fine. But speaking of 1600 bits, we just finished year 15 of the vlog. So yesterday was day 1 of year 16. AKA forever.
you're old.
I'm old.
I tell Austin all the time.
I need to go. I'll be back in a second.
I don't know what that meant.
I need to get the second bill.
Oh. Mal's saving her life. Because if she doesn't get rid of a hangnail, she'll
Rip it off.
rip it up to her shoulder.
I had that happen recently. It hurt really bad.
So she's gonna take care of that.
Go file that. Girl problems.
Yeah, the vlog is 16. I always feel old whenever someone, and this happened just like a few days ago whenever I posted about it, someone was like, I started watching you when I was 7 and I just graduated college. I'm 22. And I'm like, and then you can just kind of feel yourself turn to dust. It's great. It's a great feeling. The vlog has its learner's permit. It's finally on the road.
The vlog is older than my little sister.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Renee says, I think I found you when Maddie was in 2nd grade and now she's a sophomore in high school. Yeah. It's fine.
Lily's in 2nd grade.
The vlog existed years and years before she came along.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you caught her when you videoed. You
Yeah.
videoed her when she was like, what, 7 hours old? Something like that.
Yeah. We came to see you. Yeah. 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 It was a few years ago. We were hanging out with some friends. One of my friends, not Thomas, but Tom, was like, how does it feel knowing that you're likely the most documented person on the planet? And I was like, don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Good thing you're the one doing the documenting and it's not somebody else.
Fair. It's just someone from a bush at all times. Yeah.
Oh, what's that movie? Somebody.
Oh,
Truman Show. Thank you.
Truman Show.
Thank you. Somebody else was on the same track. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I'm not like discovering like, oh, what? I'm on a show. Yeah. It's fine. We've been making things
Steven
on
Show.
We've been making things on the internet for a long time, so we'll probably keep doing that since that seems to be going okay. Probably. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds. Like I told Mal, I was like, I've done this for 15 years, and I was like, to be honest, imagining doing it for 15 more is a lot harder than it used to be. Like, imagining that I'm like, whew, that's a lot. I would be, how old am I? I'm 30. I would be 50 years old if I did this another 15 years. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Are you not already 50? In my mind, I'm like 74. It's true. Welcome back. Did you say I act like it? Listen, I'm only working on how my mind goes, and that's how it does. Vagabond says, what else are you going to do? It's true. I have no other marketable skills. I had a conversation with my mom, and she's like, if you weren't doing this, what else would you do? And I was like, I guess die, because I don't think I can do anything else.
Look at that.
That's it.
You guys are keeping Stephen alive.
Thank you for keeping me alive.
Put him in retail.
I guess, I know how to, edit a thing.
Yeah.
That's,
That's a marketable skill. People need editors.
Yeah.
You could...
I can draw Pokemon badly? Yeah.
How many did you draw last night?
16.
Oh.
Which is funny, because it's the number everyone likes. Can we show, Actually, they're probably in the queue.
No, those are my hockey pictures.
Oh, they're all your hockey pictures?
I posted 3.
Okay, I was like, can we pick, 1 or 2 of the Pokemon I drew and then show them? I could edit the next Transformers movie. I've told that story before, right? Okay, so one day, Thomas came into town back in Myrtle Beach, and we went to Barbecue House. We get to Barbecue House. Thomas is dressed up pretty nicely. It's just me and him sitting there, and the waitress comes over and she says, "Oh, you're dressed very nicely." And I don't know if she asked what Thomas did. I think she did, and Thomas was like, well, he is editing the new Transformers movie, and I wrote it or directed it, just straight-faced, out of nowhere, just said that, and I'm just staring at him like, what are you doing? Was a producer. Yeah, he's like, this is the editor for the new Transformers movie that's in theaters, and I'm the producer. And she was like, oh, wow. And I was just staring at Thomas like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And why would you do this at the beginning of a meal? Why? Because now we have to sit here and deal with all of this.
Yeah. We go there a lot to eat, so now I'm wondering which waitress it was. I'm sitting here seeing all the waitresses in my mind. Which one would believe that? Which one's gullible enough to believe that?
Thomas said I had a lot going on. I mean, in as soon as someone says that, and they're doing it so straight-faced, then you're like, oh, crap. I guess I'm in this
You're
now.
along for the ride.
I am complicit in this insane lie. So then I just had to be like, yeah.
Thomas has to keep it spicy.
He does. He definitely does. We also had 71 months from I Spy Moose, 54 months Tier 3, Subby from Arpega, and 300 bits from Gadzooks, who says, so the name is pronounced Joe Stinkzon. And the sad thing is, you're right, this is tame compared to Pickles Dohofer or Tony Suck or Beer. Welcome to it, Nikki. There was a baseball player just named Beer.
No last name? Just
I don't
Beer?
think so, no. Just
like
Beer.
Madonna? Zendaya?
Yeah.
Prince.
Prince? Cool.
Yeah, except a lot of these players that have weird names are actually, bad and not memorable.
Oh.
They're memorable only because...
Only because of their names.
Their names, yeah.
Cool.
You're named after my favorite thing, beer. All right, so I'll run these photos. You said you put hockey photos in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's...
Oh, well, first you have to look at this. This is Mimikyu. This is Mimikyu.
Doesn't Mimikyu have ears?
Well, I had to draw it from memory, and this is what Mimikyu looks like from memory. It's a little different than other people. Here's Haunter.
That's better.
Prompt was Gengar. Prompt was
Gengar
Haunter.
has legs.
The prompt was this. It was Haunter. I drew Haunter. That's Haunter. That's what Haunter looks like.
Uh-huh.
Here's hockey.
Here's hockey.
That was the final
Yeah.
thing. 6-4. Beat Dallas.
Yep. And we got great seats. Honestly, for free seats,
Yeah.
we couldn't get much better.
I mean, any seat for free is a good seat.
Yeah.
But those are really not
There's
bad.
Stormy.
There's Stormy. I'm still wondering why the Canes mascot is a pig.
Yeah.
Somebody explain.
Oh, is that
Why?
a pig?
Yeah, Stormy's
I thought
pig.
it was a dog at first. Okay.
Looks like
But
a
it's-
squirrel.
There's
or
a
something.
Zamboni.
Thank you for a Zamboni shot.
You're welcome.
They let fans ride on it.
Mm-hmm.
They pick out 2 fans per. Was it period?
Yeah, in between each period.
In between each period, they have fans that ride on them.
Oh yeah, Sonochi redrew my drawings. So like,
But better.
yeah, and they're really good. I like my Pokemon. I think maybe the Pokemon Company should let me handle some designs for the next game.
Pokemon Princess says Stormy is because the land was bought from a pig farmer.
Oh, interesting.
Is that why Lenovo are where they are?
That's neat.
Like, I know we have a large pig farming industry in the state.
Yeah. Interesting.
Arena Land used to be a pig farm, so they made the mascot a pig as a tribute to the farmer.
Cool.
Huh. That is very, very neat.
This is awesome. I can just ask a question and it gets answered. Like that's really awesome. I like this.
That's what we use Breakfast Stream for. Is we just
Cool.
sit here and go like,
What are all of
What?
my questions in life?
yeah, and then
Answer them.
and then folks answer them. It's
Who did we
great.
play? We played the Dallas Stars last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Weren't the Stars slated to win?
Yeah, they were supposed to win. Well, it's because our normal goalie was out on concussion.
Oh, the other thing that happened is, so before Nikki and Mal left, I very tongue-in-cheek told Mal, I was like, when you go to get a clip tonight for the vlog, I was like, film them making a goal. And Mal was like, yeah, okay, because you can't do that. You
can. You could film the whole thing.
You'd have to
Yeah.
film the entire thing, which is, I don't expect Mal to do. Anyway, when she came home, she was like, yeah, I actually got a goal. And I was like, really? She's like, yes. So she managed to do it, which was very, very cool.
The last one.
Well,
So.
they pulled their goalie,
Yeah.
so we were more likely to get a goal,
A goal when
during
there's
that
no
time.
goalie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was excited about that. That was very, very cool. Whenever I had went to the hockey game, I was desperately trying to get the goal, and I filmed so much trying to capture a goal. Yeah, it can be a lot of effort to try and do that. We also had 68 months from Wildfire. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so how much effort will it be for the Canes to get into the playoffs?
I don't know when that happens. January?
Did they do playoffs last year?
They did.
So they could do it again.
They could. I don't know. I haven't been following this season as much as I did last season, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
Yeah.
how well they're doing.
They
but-
won a ton of games in a row. They were out of town for like a while, and I feel like they won every game. And then we came home, and I think we lost.
Oh.
Playoffs start Easter weekend. Okay.
Oh, that is a ways away.
Yeah, there's a lot of hockey games. Hockey and baseball have the most games ever.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, it was like every team in the NHL was playing on the same night, which is like very rare to happen.
Oh, wow. That seems like a lot of teams. Probably at least
Because it's
10.
Canada too. It's North American.
10 to 12 teams, maybe more. I'm not sure how many teams there are. There's a lot of baseball teams, too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
32. Okay, that's definitely more than 10. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about
It's not baseball.
Sports
Stephen Thomas.
in general.
in general. Yeah.
Yep. I still. Did you hear me tell Mal yesterday about Dude Perfect does this thing with one of their editors called Wives versus Chad. Basically, Chad is one of their editors that doesn't know really anything about sports, and they do sports trivia questions against the wives of Dude Perfect, and
And Chad doesn't win.
Chad never wins. He never wins. but it's quite funny, and so I think that it would be great to do sports trivia.
I mean, we are
versus Steven.
regularly quizzed on sports stuff, like on Friday nights. I know Midi Night sends in sports questions that I very regularly don't get correct.
Yeah. But these are like easy questions, like how many innings are in a baseball game, a typical baseball game.
Oh, that I know.
And what's the answer?
9.
Okay. Just double checking.
There's 9. You do 7, and then everyone collectively says, "Man, baseball's too long," and then they do 2 more. I'm pretty sure that's typically how it goes.
Baseball is one of those things that experiencing it in person is just so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you watch it on TV, yeah, by 7, you're done.
We went to a Durham Bulls game in June when Thomas was visiting, and that was fun.
It was very fun.
That was very, very fun. I really like to eat, like conceptually, but especially the baseball game because there's all these fun
Good
foods.
foods, yeah.
I just want to eat bad things.
If I had known ahead of time that the Eagles were playing when I was in Philly, we would have gotten seats, I think.
Yeah. Austin likes the Orioles. He wants to take me to their stadium because we've gone to the Mets and we've gone to so many Clemson baseball games. Trying to remember what other Major League Baseball games we went to, but the Orioles are Austin's team, so he wants to go there.
Yeah, I remember.
I've always wanted to go to a Packer game at Lambeau.
I mean, you probably will someday, right?
We'd have to go to Green Bay.
But we could visit for the purpose of doing it?
We could.
Certainly, like, someone in your family has, like, season tickets.
Like, multiple people.
Okay.
It could just be some random person. You just need to wear your gear around.
Yep.
Just wear your swag, and somebody will just come up to you and be like, "Hey, we have season tickets, and we can't go to this game. You want them?" It's the greatest.
Circle Nestcourt said, "Did you see they beat San Fran on Sunday?" I saw the end of the second and a little bit of the start of the third, and I saw we were way up. And then we were walking into the hockey arena yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, robot, did the Packers win yesterday?" And she was like, "We did."
I would like to go to a Packers game because it feels a bit like a spiritual experience. Like if you live in the Midwest, especially if you're in Wisconsin, it's like a cultural
Especially when
thing.
you live within an hour of Green Bay.
Yeah, so if we could do that sometime, I would do it. I'd prefer to do it not in the cold.
That's not happening this year.
Because like
It's already cold.
I've definitely seen images of people like bundled up. It's like snow falling and they're playing football, and I'm like, I don't want to do that really. You can't enjoy your nachos when you're that cold, and then the nachos get cold.
Then the cheese solidifies.
What you need to do is you need to know someone who has a box and go in the box.
Do you know someone who has
No.
Okay. It's fine.
Chat, find somebody that's got a box to give tickets to Mal.
Yeah, I would. That would be neat. That would be a neat experience for sure.
I'm gonna go get more coffee.
Sure.
I mean, I've been in a Packers box, but not during a game. Because I've done Lambeau tours before.
Oh, I was like, what would be the purpose of?
Oh, you can go tour Lambeau all the time.
I was like, why would you have been in a box without a game going on? She's like, me and my friends just snuck in at night just to look, just to see what it was like.
Lambeau's just open. You can just walk through
You just walk right in. You know, everything is open if you jump a fence. That's how it works. We had 38 months from Chatterbox and 72 months from Mr. Viperfang. Congrats on the 6. This is why I carry lockpicks. Because I want to look at stadiums.
I've been to a Brewers game in a box.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my mom got tickets at one point because where she worked owned, like sometimes they like own a box.
Yeah.
And like she was given tickets for some reason.
Okay.
Because it was like corporate who owned the box.
Yeah, I really, like, even though I don't know a whole lot about sports, like going to a sports game, especially like with friends and that energy, it's fun.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not such a big sports guy that I necessarily want to like go to a big team with a nice seat to pay like a lot of money, because for me the experience of the game has less to do with the game and more to do with like the people. So if it's like, oh, we're gonna go see, you know, I don't know, good team number 1 USA, and we're gonna be front row, and it's $500, then I'm like, I don't want to do
glass
that.
at a hockey game at some point.
I would like to go, and it doesn't have to be like ringside or courtside, but I would like to go to an NBA game at some point. Like just one. I'm not even like a big NBA guy. I just watched a ton of NBA when I was a kid, and I would like to see like one game. And that's it. Careful, they might make you play. Only if they want to lose.
Thomas.
Hornets tickets are cheap because they suck. I mean, that would be fine. That would be totally fine. I'd go see a Hornets game. I think that would be kind of enjoyable.
What I miss? Oh, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah. I was saying that I would love to see like a basketball game at some point.
I used to have the tracksuit. Do you guys remember the Charlotte Hornets tracksuit back in the 90s?
Yep. It's like
I
green
rocked
and
it.
pink or something.
Like I think there was a
teal?
teal kind of color. But yeah.
Yeah, my childhood bedroom was decorated with an elaborate number of NBA sports stuff, which
But
is
just because you're tall? Or did you actually like basketball?
I mean, so when I was a kid, I watched a lot of basketball, but the reason I watched basketball was because I was tall,
Because you're people. You're there.
basically.
Kippo.
But we had, like, there was a lot of NBA stuff in the room, but there was also a disproportionate number of Chicago Bulls and Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
So,
Are you walking over here?
Yeah. Austin was a big Bulls fan. Which is really funny because he's the one that actually played basketball like all through middle and high school.
it's true.
And he's short. Like he looks short. Everybody looks short compared to you. But he's 5'7".
Yeah, he's
And-
taller than me.
Yeah. So he's 5'7", and he's the one that played basketball
And
growing
Steven
up. And
didn't.
Steven was like, nope.
Yep. Yeah, I every year they were like, please play basketball, and I was like, no. And then I went home and made RPG Maker games, and that was fine. That was fine. I don't have any like real regrets about that. I'm sure I would have also had fun doing the sports thing, but that wasn't really my jam. That's so sad, and I hate that story. Yeah, it's fine. I got really familiar with like internet forums at a time when
Isn't that how you met Mal?
yeah.
So if you would have been playing basketball, instead of doing that, you wouldn't have met Mal.
That's actually a fairly reasonable
Call up
conclusion.
Reed right now.
That's actually a fairly reasonable conclusion. So, Stephen says, I was a soccer/golf/tennis captain way back in the old times. That's many different things. Soccer, golf, and
Yeah.
tennis.
Good evening, Robert.
Yeah, welcome in.
Let's see. Can the chat guess what I did in high school?
Which
What
sport?
What kind of I guess it could be sport, club, any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, like, what was your
What was my thing?
what was your hobby?
Yeah. This is gonna be fun. Volleyball, nope. Lacrosse, nope.
See, volleyball would have been my guess.
I was a cheerleader, so that was one thing that I did. I did theater. Yep. Book club. Not in high school. Now I would do that. No, not art. Band. No, in middle school I did. I played violin and bass, but orchestra. I did gymnastics whenever I was younger. Lily's in gymnastics now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's having fun.
So you did cheerleading, you did theater.
Yes. I was also in International Honor Society, and this is a different, strange one. I was in JROTC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ROTC is a big thing. Thank you, Thomas.
Should I get my own stream? I could do this all day. This is fun. Bring my kids in. And guess what they're gonna say?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's hard for folks like in different regions of the country to understand like JROTC.
We didn't have it at my
JROTC.
school.
Whoop whoop.
I had
You didn't
never
have it?
heard of it until college.
Like I knew a ton of people in ROTC. Like
Yeah.
quite a few. So
Yeah.
that was really common.
Yeah. It was really funny because people were like, "Oh, you must have wanted to go into the military or really like the military." No. I really like I love the military. I actually do know a lot of my friends from ROTC went into the military.
Yeah.
Lots of respect there, but I never wanted to go in.
You explain it to non-Americans because we
Oh,
do have a decent number of
yeah.
non-Americans in chat.
Okay, so basically ROTC, and it's, how do I explain this?
It's in a public school
So,
program.
yes, it's a public school program that focuses on the different forms of the military. And so it's, and basically instead of taking PE, you can take ROTC instead, and they will teach you basically the structure of the military, and you can wear the uniform for whatever yours
they have
is.
special uniforms.
Yeah, so ours was
They
Navy.
do drills.
Yes, they do drills. They'll teach you. Basically, there's an ROTC program in colleges, and this is like the junior version of it for high schools. Basically, it's pre-military. So you learn a lot about it to figure out if that is something you would be interested in doing, a career path you would be interested in doing post-high school, post-college.
And it's very physically intensive too.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
Because it's a replacement for PE.
Yeah, so it's actually, a lot of people tried to get out of PE and go into ROTC thinking it'll be an easy credit, and that's actually not, because there's a lot more involved in it. So,
A free trial before you subscribe.
if you want to know more about that kind of thing, watch the movie Cadet Kelly.
Yeah.
But that was more of a whole school devoted to it. But that's in the same vein. If that was just like a club in a school, again, kind of like military school, but it's only a small portion, and it's not nearly as.
It's just a class you take each semester.
Yeah.
This will be easier. People going into a military trial run.
Yep. Pre-military. Yeah.
Like, my high school did not have ROTC, and like I had literally never heard of it until I went to college because my university had it.
Yeah.
And then when I started teaching, when I taught high school, we had it there. And I was like, I have no idea what this is. And I'd have kids in uniform, and I was like, explain this to me, please. I didn't have this where I came from. And they were like, George, are you not from the U.S.? And I'm like, no, I am. I'm just
Well, yeah.
from the Midwest.
Yeah,
From the Midwest.
the U.S. is real different, like, depending
Yeah.
on where you are. So, like, regionally, there's just things missing from
Yeah.
other regions. So
Yeah. So it's really funny though, because anybody that knows anything about ROTC and like the way American schools kind of work and the cliques that they have, when they hear that I was a cheerleader and in ROTC, they get very confused.
that's a very weird Venn diagram.
is.
I think it's just you.
Yes, I am the only middle point
Yeah,
there. And drama, when I was in theater and cheerleading and ROTC, that like the three didn't mesh.
Yeah.
But I did cheerleading because both of my sisters were cheerleaders, and I really just enjoyed the sport of cheerleading. which I know the chat is going to go crazy going, cheerleading's not a sport. I get it. I'm not going to argue.
My cooperating teacher when I student taught was cheerleading coach. And she would get to school at 5:30 for cheerleading practice every day. Mm-hmm. And those kids would be there every day that early.
Oh, everyone's saying, oh, it definitely is.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, awesome. I didn't know what kind of people we had here. They could go in either direction.
We got basically the best people, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not even being facetious. Like I've watched a lot of other streams and I'm like, we have basically the best community on Twitch. Sorry everyone else. You tried.
Yeah. I mean, that's somebody said I didn't like cheerleaders in my class. Yeah, I'm with you. I did high school like cheerleading for football and basketball my freshman year. And then after that I stopped and I just did competitive. So I did competition cheerleading for the rest. And I feel like that's a little bit more of a sport in my mind than cheering for other sports.
Yeah, we didn't have competition cheerleading at my high school. They only did it for football and basketball. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really do any tumbling. They just kind of did sometimes pyramids and sometimes they just cheered and like that was kind of it.
Yeah, we also
Our dance team was competitive though.
We also have a community that's like going to be pro like esports, right? So like the definition of sport is pretty wide as long as something is competitive and requires some amount of effort, whether like physically or mentally or whatever. Like that's a sport. That counts as a sport.
Yeah. Yes, competition cheerleading is a wild concept. It really is. I mean, it's a lot like I'd put it in the same vein as competition dance.
Yeah.
They're very similar in a lot of ways. It's a judged sport. That's what Austin calls it. Austin calls cheerleading, gymnastics, competitive dance judged sports. So.
Competitive streaming.
Yeah.
Is that when you eat 50 nuggets? I'm not sure.
Competitive dance for a while.
Yes. Cheerleaders, yeah. And in a lot of ways, a lot of cheerleaders are mean, which is why I was only in high school cheerleading for 1 year. Because, I mean, imagine being on the squad with them and saying, no, I'm going to go hang out with my ROTC friends.
So competitive baking is a sport. I think you could call it a sport.
It's like the Great Bake Off.
Yeah. You have to run to the...
Steven hasn't seen that show.
Like where something goes from a competition to a sport is probably just a very blurred line.
Yeah, it's a gray area.
So I don't think if it's the same thing, I'm like, then these terms are interchangeable.
Yeah. Is streaming a sport? Are you competing against anybody in this stream? I guess it depends on what you're doing in your stream.
I guess you're actively competing against everyone else currently streaming. Because you're like, well, you could be watching them, or you could be here, where we're talking about this specific thing. It's an esport.
Competitive sleeping. I like it.
I've seen competitive sleeping. We've decided to turn
Steven
everything
competes
into
against the demons.
That's every Friday night. I often lose. We had 7 months from Slade Watkins. Thank you. We all participate in competitive sleeping. We don't always do very well.
Yeah.
But we try.
Why did I join ROTC? Because my best friend was in it. Her dad was in the military, and her dad wanted her to do ROTC to see if she might want to go into the military after high school. And she said, don't make me do it alone. So I did it with her, and I made a lot of really good friends. So I don't know that I went out of it saying that I wanted to join the military, but it definitely gave me a greater respect for the people that did.
And it also gives you a lot of discipline, because there's an immense amount of discipline required to do something like that. So.
Yeah. We got to go on different trips, like to the Naval Academy and I forgot the
Did
name
you go up
of
to the battleship?
Yes.
The North
Oh,
Carolina
We
battleship?
actually,
In
we
Wilmington?
actually, yeah. We went and slept on one of the boats up in Virginia, and we had to. Oh gosh, now I forgot what it's called, and I can't remember. But we had to stay up in shifts. And I just remember pulling the short straw and getting like the 3 to 4 a.m. shift.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. So I had to go to sleep and then wake up and be up from 3 to 4 and then try and go back to sleep. It was a nightmare.
Renee's loving this because Renee's husband's in the military and her daughter's in ROTC.
Oh, awesome. Is she enjoying it? What's the branch and what is her rank?
Renee says Maddie's thinking about the Navy.
Yeah, I had Navy ROTC. I got up to senior chief. Because after my first 2 years of high school, I went to the academy.
Yeah.
And I was in entertainment technology, so I couldn't do as much with ROTC after that.
Maddie's Army and working towards sergeant.
Oh, nice.
Very, very cool. So the military is something that I'm wildly unfamiliar with on almost every facet because, like, I don't have any family that's military. Like,
Your grandfather was...
both of my grandfathers were military, but never talked about it. So it was
That generation wouldn't.
It was never discussed, and then no one else in my life was ever military. So we could so like everything I've learned about military has been like very outside of like a close like familial experience.
My cousin went into it, and I forget specifically what he did, but I do know he was part of some elite groups. Like at one point he was part of the Old Guard, Washington's Army, where they dress up in powdered wigs and have drums and march around. But like he did some like Green Beret level stuff, but then as he's like starting to retire, he did that.
Yeah. Somebody said they couldn't get past a certain rank because of politics in JRTC. That's real. Because, I mean, it's funny because it also happens in the other direction. I had a friend that dated the CO and got really high rank because even for not doing much of anything. So that politics can go in either direction. It's no fun.
He says, we've been all in for 18 years. My husband is bomb tech, EOD. Wow. Also, morning, Jiggy.
Morning, Jiggy.
All right. We're nearing 10 a.m. What have we got coming up? What is it, Tuesday?
It's Tuesday. So tomorrow, Stephen, what are you streaming tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm finishing Crow Country. Crow Country has been very fun. As far as I know, I've played half, so I'm going to be playing the rest of it tomorrow. It's a retro survival horror game in the style of like Silent Hill 1 or Resident Evil 1, and it's very, very fun. So the VOD is up now if you want to check out part 1, and then I'll be streaming the second half of the game tomorrow. You wander around an abandoned amusement park and shoot disfigured monsters. It's fun. It's a good time.
Thursday we'll be doing a Thanksgiving breakfast stream, just Stephen and I.
That's true, yeah. And then Friday...
I'll be painting in the morning.
Friday morning mouse painting. And then Friday evening, God help me.
What are you doing, Stephen?
Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be streaming Subnautica Crowd Control. And I'm not... We're gonna see what happens. I'm a little worried about it. Like, there's a part of me that truly believes that we will be taking breaks because it's a lot.
crowd control means that
Emotionally.
the people in chat can make things happen in the game.
So the game where I'm already scared of like
Being in the water.
scary fish, they can just make many scary fishes. I'm wondering if like if there's enough scary, then it will like take away the fear. They'd be like, you can't fear.
Desensitize
you
Yeah,
to it.
completely
exactly.
desensitize me. But also Chaz controls when the things happen, I think. So
So really, it's Chaz
It is
control.
Chaz.
Chaz will probably
It's not
do
crowd control. It's Chaz control.
Chaz will do everything he can to like continue to make me afraid. It's fine. It's totally fine. Or you're going to pee yourself and be afraid forever. I will make sure that I go to the bathroom right before.
Every break.
Yeah. I really, like, for folks that did not watch the Subnautica playthrough, there are many times where I had to, like, stop. I was like, I need a break because it's just scary. You're in the water. That's already scary. So, yeah, we'll see.
Steven's big.
We'll see what happens. But that's Friday. That means that Mal has the night off on Friday
I do
night.
have the night off. I'll be with Laika.
You'll get to spend it petting a dog.
And obviously I didn't do Okage last night. Okage will be next week, this coming Monday.
Coming Monday. And if you missed last night's stream, oh boy, I'll get it up soon. I drew Pokemon. It's great. I drew them all 100% accurately. They look exactly like they look
should.
exactly like they should.
Exactly.
My favorite part was Renee was like, I don't have any reference for what the Pokemon should look like, so your drawings are just what I will assume the Pokemon are. And I'm like, this is great. This is what I want. So I want everyone to believe that mine are like that's what it is. Wonderful. We also had 67 months from Kazuyume. Thanks. And yeah, that's it. Nikki, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah. Everyone, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. And we will see you tomorrow for
Crow
Crow
Country.
Country. Yeah.
Bye.
See you then.